No,
That's good. All right, so I will stay on to make sure that the video gets downloaded.
Okay,
But yeah, I'll make you a co-host now.
okay. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Hi.
Hey, Claire, did it ask you for a passcode when you clicked on the link? No? Good.
We'll wait a few more minutes, Claire, and see if anybody else jumps back on.
Just really wanted to learn more about SmartPlans.
I'm sorry?
I just really wanted to learn more about SmartPlans.
Oh. Well, hopefully you'll get a lot out of this. Have you played around in Command at all?
I've started to. We have Wendy on our team that does a lot of our admin stuff, so I don't
Okay.
technically have to deal with it. I still want to know,
Yeah.
just in case. And so I'm still learning the command side.
Oh, good.
Gradually.
That's okay. That's good. It's like, hi, Florian. I'll just wait a couple more minutes and then I'll get started.
Hi, Janice.
Hello.
Just gonna wait a couple more minutes and we'll get started. How have you been? Good?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been good. Look, I've been trying to learn these smart plans, so I'm glad you're teaching this class.
So it's going to kind of be a big overview of SmartPlans. We're going to kind of start from the beginning, like what you need to have set up, why it's important to have all of your contacts, as much information about your contacts as possible in Command. And then we're going to go in and look at some of the SmartPlans that are already out there that you can customize for yourself, as well as we'll create a SmartPlan. So.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am going to start sharing my screen. We'll get on to Command and we'll walk through all the steps together. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to see the comments, so if you guys want to unmute yourselves, if you have a question, just let me know. Otherwise, I can answer any of the questions at the end. So, hi Janice, how are you? So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. right, I'm gonna go right on to command. Okay. So probably the biggest thing to know about SmartPlans is as much information as you can have or know of with any of your contacts, the better off you're going to be, because the more you have, for instance, if you've got their birthdays in there, if you have the neighborhood set up, there's a lot of different smart plans you can do, just depending on how much information you have. So for instance, I'll just get in here, see my contacts. I'll pull myself up. There's me. So as if we're looking at myself as a contact, this neighborhood piece right here is really important because you can send out like neighborhood nurtures and let everybody in that neighborhood know what's been happening in that market. You know, I've got your contact, your mailing address, my birthday. You could send out birthday notices with the smart plan, which is a nice touch to everybody. So as much information as you have in all your contacts, the better off you're going to be. So getting into the smart plans, it's this fourth icon down. And if you click on the icon, let's see. You can see that right now I have no smart plans created. So there's two different things you can do. Once we create one, it's going to go into my smart plans, and that's the smart plans that I am specifically going to use. And then there's also a library. So there's already some published smart plans that you can just change over with your information. You can use them directly as they are. You can also manipulate them a little bit to better fit what you're trying to do. But again, getting back to the most specific thing, everybody really needs to have their email set up. And if you want to text through smart plans, you need to have a Twilio account set up. So you would just go into settings, and you need to drop down to email services. So you need to make sure that your email is connected to this command email, which mine is. I have a MailChimp account as well if you want to do campaigns. And then if you do want to do texting, you need to have a Twilio account. Now, I don't have one connected, and I'll show you the workaround that as well. But if you do want to send text messages directly through your smart plans, you do need to have a Twilio account. Again, you hit this to subscribe in the marketplace. There is a bunch of different plans that you can do. They charge you monthly for that service. And it's going to depend on how many texts you want to send out per month. So you definitely need to make sure if you're texting, like I said, Twilio set up. If you're planning on emailing, this command email needs to be set up.
Irene, what's the MailChimp account? What is that? What does
Well,
that allow you to do?
The MailChimp account, that I believe, like if you want to do, you know, bigger email campaigns, meaning, you know, if you want to do it for like a Facebook ad or something, I think that's what that is. I don't use it very often.
Okay.
So, you know, specifically, we can talk about that later. I can get back to everybody on that. But I knew at the beginning that was really important to have set up.
Okay.
And I believe MailChimp is a free account, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Okay.
So, so if we go back to where the SmartPlans are, if you're starting out, you guys should really make a list of what you want to accomplish with your SmartPlans. There's certainly a way to keep in touch, obviously, with all your sphere that's in command. But, you know, do you want to make sure that you send out a birthday card or a birthday greeting? Do you want to do the neighborhood nurtures? Do you want to follow up with a Facebook ad you had? Do you want to follow up with open houses? Like, how do you keep in touch with everybody that you met at the open house? So you should kind of have a list of, you know, what you really want to accomplish and how you want to accomplish that. But if you go into the library, there's a couple different things here. So Keller Williams themselves has created 10, I don't want to say they're generic, but they're really a starting point of SmartPlans. And when you look at the SmartPlans, like we'll look at this bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, you can see that there are 33,807 agents using this bi-weekly nurture. They're giving it 4.5 stars. There's 3 steps to it. The duration, that's in days. So this is a 15-day duration and with 1 touch. So you can see that right now, this is free. And most of the SmartPlans that you'll see in the library are free. Think going forward, some of the agents that create some and publish them in here may start charging you for theirs. But for the most part, most of them will be free and other agents are just sharing with you. But if you go down here, so this is a bi-weekly, it helps you reach out to clients, leads. It tells you right here what it's planning on doing. But if you go down here and you can hit view steps before you actually add this to yourself. So it'll pull up, it's for 15 days, there's 3 steps, and it's basically 1 touch. So so on this one, the step is, it's gonna send an email. So you need to create that email. It's gonna wait 14 days and then it'll repeat with that email again on the nurture for your neighborhood. And that'll send out to your specific neighborhoods what's going on in the past 2 weeks for that area. So, you know, you can do an 8x8. There's a quarterly call plan. There's a midterm nurture. So there's 10 specific ones, and they're a little bit more generic, but you can use, and they kind of already set it up for you to just, here's the steps. This is where you would send everything and go. If you go down a little bit, they have top rated. And so again, you can see this is a new licensee, new to Keller Williams. This one's got 4,400 people using it. There's 6 steps. Again, you can view the steps. So there's hundreds of these that you can literally go through, like buyer education. So this one, you know, if we view the steps, the email, they actually show you what they're saying here in that email. The next step is a delay. They've got another text. So you can kind of see it before you actually use them. And then they have top rated SmartPlans. And again, You can see how many agents are using them, how many steps. And here's what's new. So they've created some new ones. The other thing that you can do with these, if you don't want to have to peruse through all of these smart plans, is you can search. So say I just put a Facebook ad out for a property that I had. So I want to follow up with the people that clicked on my Facebook ad. So you can just start typing in here, Facebook ad follow-up, and let's see what happens. So it pulls up, there's 2 people have created. So this one, 16 agents are using. It's calls, texts, emails, just to follow up. And again, you can view the steps, you know, add this to your neighborhood. So it'll send out the bi-weekly nurture. Here's another text. It delays a day, and then, you know, a phone call that you need to make. There was one specific I thought that was really good. It's this one was called 1 Year Buyer. Let's see if it'll pull it up. Okay, so this one, the 1 year buyer contact plan without intro text. This one, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to view the steps. And I decided after looking at this that I really like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the smart plan. And I want to, this one's bundled. There's a couple different parts to it, but it doesn't, I mean, that doesn't matter really. You can download this. You can download the second one if you want as well. And then if all works out well, you'll see it, they download it into your own smart plan. So if you click on your smart plan, you can go, tells you when you created it, how many days, you can add people to it, you can edit it. So we're going to edit it. So here it's showing you, so after you add someone, you're adding a contact. So 29 days later, it's going to wait, and then it's going to send them a text. And the text is going to say, "Greetings, Irene. As you're looking at homes available in your price range, start prioritizing your needs and wants. It's important to have more space, or would you rather have a newer move-in ready with less square footage? Absolutely need 3 bedrooms or 2 bathrooms. Would you love to have a 2-car garage?" So when you get to these smart plans, you are definitely able to edit them. So in this case, you can change this to 2 because you want 2 bedrooms. You're asking them that. Maybe you don't want to say anything about the 2-car garage. So you can go ahead and delete that. So what are your deal breakers? And then you would save that because you changed your smart plan. So then it's going to delay again for 29 days. Let's say maybe you don't want it. Maybe you want to do it in 2 weeks instead of the 29 days. So again, you can come here, you can change these any delay day you want. So I put the 14 days, so we're going to save that as well. Then it's going to send a text again. I don't have Twilio connected, as you guys know. So hey, just checking in, making sure we're on the same timeline as we talked about. Hey, I'm okay with that. Then I'm going to have another delay. So as you go through these, you can change them as much as you want. Here it's telling you about a task. So it's saying you should make a call. Call them to check in. It's going to delay again, and then it's going to move it to the second part of this smart plan. If you liked the way this came out, you can make sure you save it because you made all your changes. If you want to add, you're going to have to add people to it. So you click on this little icon here, and you can either select everybody that's in your contacts, or maybe you have a specific tag. Maybe you're looking for buyers. It'll add your buyers to it. However you want to add people, that's how you do it. If you're a little leery of starting at first, send it to yourself to try it out. So I can send it to myself, and I'll add myself to the smart plan. When you add, once you're done adding everybody to the smart plan, then it can start immediately. So as soon as I click confirm, it's going to start this plan, or you can start it on any day you want. Say you want to start it mid-April. You can just change the date down here, and it'll start on April 15th. So once you're done with that, you can hit confirm. And it's already added to your smart plan. It's going to start sending to me. Now, because I don't have the text, I don't have Twilio set up, it tells you here that the Twilio account's not. What you can do, and what the workaround is, if you prefer, instead of having this as a send message, you can delete this out. So I want to remove that step. And instead, I can create a task. So text Irene, text Irene about, what are we talking about here? Text Irene about buying a home. You can save that. You can save that, and you can actually, you'll be able to move it up through, let's move this up. So you can manipulate the smart plan any way you want to. Again, you can't, it says it can't have back-to-back delays. So let me see, here's a delay. Here's a delay. Here they are. So we'll just delete this delay. You can save that. It says your changes have been saved and you're all set. So if you go back and say you want to create your own smart plan. So you go into My Smart Plans and you hit create. This one, I want to, I'm just going to do an open house follow-up. And I'm going to create it. So it's going to bring you to this screen, which is, if you see on the left, it's blank. But on the right, you've got all different kinds of actions that you're able to do with this. So you can create a task, you can make a phone call, you can send an email, you can send a text. Here's the set delay. You can add to a smart plan, and you can restart a smart plan. So I just had an open house on Sunday. So what I want to do is I want to make I'm going to send an email. I entered in all my guests that came to my open house. They're all as part of my contacts already. So I'm sending an email and I'm just going to say following up. And then I want the email. You can do specific designs. You can just keep it as simple as you want to and just say, hi. Now here's what you, if you want to add like a first name or last name, you can go to this merge field here. If you click on the merge field, it brings up all the different spots in the in your contacts that you can add. So I want to add my contact's first name. So if you hit that, what it's going to do is everybody that's on that smart plan, it's going to pick up their first name. So it'll be a personalized email to them. And then you can start typing whatever you want to type. Thank you so much for stopping by 1234 Main Street yesterday. It was great meeting you. Okay, like that message. So that's what my first email is going to be. I'm going to save that. Now I want to place a delay because I don't want to go back to back to back. So I'll set a let's say a 5-day delay. Save that. If you had a text, say the next thing you wanted to do was send a text. It's not going to let me, but because I don't have a Twilio account, but you know, in the text message again, you know, did you get my email about the open house at 1234 Main Street? Can I answer any questions from you? Oops. You know, whatever it is, you can go ahead, whatever you want to say is go ahead and put that in your text, hit check to save it. Again, you're going to probably want to set, well, let's set a week delay. And then you want to follow up with a phone call. And it's just going to send a reminder, call open house guests. So that would be my complete smart plan for my follow-up. And you could create this, you know, specifically for any open house, like open house follow-up for 1234 Main Street. And again, save it. Once that's saved, you again, whoever you want to send it to, you can click on the icon. Maybe you created a tag that said 123 Main Street open house. You could, you know, however you've got them tagged, you can add them that way. You can add just specific people. So that's really how to do a smart plan. Like I said earlier, the easiest thing to do is really come up with a list of how you want to communicate with your sphere that you have in command. You know, they do have monthly neighborhood nurtures, they call it. And again, if your neighborhoods are set up by your contacts, then you can create one that will set up you know, an update on their neighborhood. If, you know, there's so many things in the smart plans that people have already created that you can just literally go through the library even and, you know, see what everybody's doing. Like here's 66-day challenge, here's a midterm nurture. So it's really the sky's the limit with it, and you know what you specifically want to do. Now for me, that I don't have Twilio, what you could do for the smart plan is create a task for yourself in that smart plan. Oops, edit this. So instead of this text message, I can delete this. And I'm going to create a task, and my task is text recipients. Can't spell today. From open house. Like that. I'm gonna move this up. And then you can, oops. And then you can save it. I need to move it up again. So that should be that. And that's it. That's Smart Plans. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Does anybody have any questions? What can I help answer for you?
Can you put a link in there in a smart plan, like a link to something you want them to fill out? Do you know? Like
You
a Google
can.
Doc or something? You can, okay.
You can, and that,
Okay.
let me get back over here. So let's see. If I'm saying I'm going to email, I'm going to add the email.
Okay.
This link right here.
Oh, okay.
You can like cut and paste a URL right there, and it'll go right into your email.
Okay.
Or same thing with the text.
Okay.
Let's remove that. The other thing is, if you guys have your smart plan, say you really like this, the way you set it up, it's a go. You can go ahead and publish it, and it'll save to the actual library for everybody, so anybody can use it. If you want to do that, that's a possibility as well. The other thing I want to mention, if the smart plan is already working, so we liked this, we have 10 people attached to this smart plan, and it's up and running. At that point, while it's running, you cannot go back and update any of these steps. You would have to stop the smart plan, redo it, and then restart it. So you cannot edit it while it's actually running and in use. So that's a little bit about smart plans. So it looks intimidating because there's a lot of plans out there. But like I said, the easiest thing to do is figure out what you really are trying to accomplish, whether you're trying to, you know, they have some for first-time home buyers. They have the open house. They have the neighborhood nurtures. They, you know, you can do birthdays. Just think of the ways that you think you would really like to use it. You know, I know when we were using the KW site, they actually had a monthly newsletter that was already created by KW that you could set out. You can still do newsletters through SmartPlans, but they don't have one that's already created for you. You would have to create your own newsletter and then set that newsletter up onto the SmartPlan. So that's it, guys. Any other questions I can answer for anybody?
Yes, I have a question. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm home with kids here for spring break in my business. So anyway, this may be remedial. I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One, this recording will be where? So I can rewatch it again because I'm going to have to.
It's going to be, I believe they're going to put it on the KW Agent Facebook page, but I believe it's also going to go on the KW, our specific KW
Agent guide.
Agent guide. Okay, so that's that. And this is the remedial part. So smart plans are beneficial when you're trying to, you have contacts who maybe aren't ready yet, but you want to keep them engaged, or would this be appropriate for your whole database? It'll be overwhelming if that was the case. I guess I'm confused the purpose of it.
Well, it's a little bit of everything, Keisha. It's, you know, if you listen to some of the other YouTube videos people have put out, some agents believe that everybody in your database should be on a smart plan. Not the same smart plan, but should be on a smart plan just to be, you know, in constant contact with people. I know sometimes if you've got a larger database, which I'm assuming, Keisha, you do, because you've been an agent for a while, you know, there's people that you nurture that you just want to stay in touch with, but you just don't always have the time to do that. So for someone that maybe bought with you last year, and you still want to keep in touch with them, maybe send them like a monthly nurture for them. Like, here's what's happening in your neighborhood. Hey, the prices went up, you know, 10% since last year. So, you know, you would put them on a specific one. If you've got some new contacts that you know they're going to buy with you probably in the next 6 to 12 months, you can have them on a separate smart plan just as a nurture, you know, like, hey, have you talked to a lender yet? Have you, you know, how can I help you? What areas are you looking for? Are you ready yet? You know, just that would be a whole separate smart plan for them. You know, you could have everybody on a birthday smart plan where, you know, you're just wishing them a happy birthday. Like, it's going to send you a task a week before their birthday, you know, saying, you know, send a birthday card to, you know, Irene. And then 3 days before, it'll be, hey, you know, send a text, hey, your birthday's coming up. What are your big plans? And then on the actual birthday, either, you know, make a task to call them. So you're still constantly reaching out to them. You know, with, we ran a Facebook ad, and that could be a whole another training, but with the Facebook ad, it'll add your contacts. I take that back. You need to add your contacts from the whoever clicked on your Facebook ad into Command, and then you could set up a specific smart plan for them. Hey, I'm just following up to see if you liked 123 Main Street. If this property's not, you know, right for you, are you still looking in Cleveland Heights? Can I, you know, reach out to you? So there's different things you can do, but really, I mean, the sky's the limit, and each contact in your command can be on a couple different smart plans at the same time.
Okay, that makes sense. So I guess what y'all telling me is I got Kathy working too hard because she do all that individually. Call them on their
Look.
birthday.
I was doing
Yeah.
all of that too.
Yeah, individually and all of that. And then, a MailChimp situation with, broader content. But when it comes to, trying to be more personalized,
Yeah.
yeah, she's been reaching out. And home anniversaries, we follow up on all of that stuff, but we've been doing it manually. So you telling me the Smart Plan does all that?
Well, you can set it up to do that. Yeah. As long as your contacts, like it has all that in your contacts by individual contact, then
does.
you can set it up that way. It'll trigger it.
I got all these tags on people's birthdays, home anniversaries, and everything. I'm the tag queen in a command. So that's
Yes.
how we've been keeping track of it. So this will help because it can automate some that want to be automated, and maybe my A groups. I want to make sure that I personally touch them, or Kathy personally touches them. We can remain the same. So that takes a little bit off our plate.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, I need to do better with tags. I know that's
well, sometimes when you're starting to set them up, especially when I know we all had to get our contacts in command, it was, oh my gosh, how do I want to tag these people?
Mhm.
I think sometimes even with these smart plans, it takes a while to start playing around with them to see what's really working for your own business. If you guys already have a system for birthdays, maybe that's okay too. But this just helps automate things, kind of like the campaigns did previously for us. So, it's just really a way of reaching out to everybody. I mean, you could set it up, you could set it up now, like, well, Easter Sunday, but you could set up a smart plan that sets something up for Easter or for 4th of July, like, hey, it's the summer, 4th of July's coming up, what are you doing? It's just truly a way of trying to engage with everybody and stay in contact, especially with some of the contacts we have that, again, you've worked with them a couple of years ago, they're probably not ready to buy a house, but you still want to be top of mind to them.
Yeah, I'm all for the set it and forget it. Well, not forget it, but you know what I mean.
Right. I mean, there's quarterly touches on there too, where,
Yeah.
it'll send out an email, but it also has you call them. One of the tasks is give them a call. It's time for that. And, it sets you to remind you of what you truly need to do.
Yeah.
If you haven't been in touch with someone for a while.
Like I was manually, so when I do my home buying seminars, like I was getting like 60 clicks, 60
Nice.
names and numbers like every month. I was manually sending all of them people emails.
Yeah.
Copy and pasting, copy and pasting, copy and pasting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to simplify my life.
Yeah. And then, the other thing is, try to stagger, this is another tip I heard, try to stagger some of the smart plans, like maybe if you're going to do a quarterly nurture, like week 1, set it up for your A buyer or your A people. Week 2 for your B people, especially if you've got phone calls to make, because you don't want to put everybody in your database on the smart plan at the same time, meaning if everybody gets the nurture the 1st of the month and the 2nd week of the month, your task is to call everybody, you're not going to want to call your whole database that week. So you're going to want to kind of think about how you're actually going to time it. So maybe it is the tags of like your A people, your B people, your C people. And week 1, you're sending it to the A's. Week 2, you're sending it to the B's, you know, etc. So, but again, that library is great because before you go and create your own smart plan, you can, you know, search if there's something similar. Because if you copy over that smart plan that's already created, it's just really a matter of editing everything in there to make sure it's your information that's getting sent out. And, you know, you may like the content, but some of the wording or something is not perfect, but you can edit it. And it's already basically created for you. It would take you a couple minutes just to edit that smart plan and then get it going. So. Anything else I can help with?
I think this has been great. I know that we get what, 5,000 free emails with the
I believe
command?
so.
Okay,
I believe so.
a month, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, if you look on Twilio, if you're not connected to Twilio, there's different monthly plans with Twilio. So I know if you're going to send, I think it's like 300 texts or less, it's like $2 something a month. And then it goes up to like 5,000 texts. It's like $11 or $12 a month. So it's not terribly expensive. But just, you know, think about how often you're going to be texting someone or would want to text. And I guess it would also depend on like how big your database is. I mean, if you're a newer agent, your database is a little smaller, you know, that's fine. You know, like a couple, I mean, $2 a month is certainly not gonna make or break you. But you know, it's really gonna depend on how much you're actually gonna use it.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any other questions, this, like we were talking about with Keisha, is recorded and it's going to be, it'll be on the Facebook site. It'll also be on the KW Agents website. So, you know, you can follow up with that. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. I'm happy to help as best as I can. And just everybody have a great day.
Thank you so much.
All right. You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Irene. It was great.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
You guys have a great
Thanks.
day.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.